Did you know that in Sodom, women wore dresses so sheer that almost nothing remained hidden? And during nighttime rituals, they would paint their bodies with liquid gold paints that shimmered under the moonlight. Number 15. The city protected by walls impossible to conquer. Can you imagine a city surrounded by walls so formidable that no army dared to attack? The walls of Sodom were a masterpiece of engineering, a double system over 10 meters high, equivalent to a 3-story building. Between the two walls, a corridor allowed defenders to move safely. At sunset, approaching visitors would see the sun reflecting off reddish bricks, giving the illusion that the entire city was on fire. The wooden gates, reinforced with metal, were so heavy that it took 6 men to open them. This extraordinary protection explains why the inhabitants felt completely free to do as they pleased. When you feel entirely untouchable, how far would your moral boundaries stretch? Number 14. Asphalt rising from the ground like water and worth more than gold. Nowhere else in the ancient world did the earth literally pour wealth like in Sodom. Asphalt wells were so abundant that the dark substance bubbled naturally from the ground like tiny fountains. Imagine walking through the region and seeing black, shiny pools forming spontaneously. Entire caravans traveled for months just to obtain Sodom's asphalt. Egyptian merchants paid fortunes for it, using it to embalm royal mummies and seal sacred boats. A single shipment could buy a palace in any city of the region. This natural resource made Sodom one of the richest cities of the ancient world, but it also changed its people. When wealth comes too easily, character slowly erodes. Does easy wealth always corrupt? Or can prosperity be achieved without losing humanity? Number 13. Destruction so violent that scientists still find evidence. It sounds like an apocalyptic movie, but archaeologists confirm it. In 1993, excavations near the Dead Sea revealed layers of ash and melted materials caused by temperatures far beyond any technology of the time. The heat was so intense that stones melted like wax, and the earth became sterile for centuries. Witnesses miles away described the sky turning blood red, with a smoke column reaching the stars. Whatever caused it, a meteorite, a volcanic explosion, or something even more mysterious, the event left marks not only in rocks, but in the collective memory of countless cultures. Number 12. Women wearing so much gold that their bones deformed. Nowhere else in the ancient world did women adorn themselves so excessively. Female skeletons discovered show permanent deformities in neck and ankle bones, caused by wearing multiple heavy necklaces and bracelets from youth. Walking through Sodom, you would hear the constant clinking of jewelry. The sound was so distinctive that one could determine a family's status just by the volume of their women's adornments. During festivals, the collective shine of these decorations could turn night into day. These women were not mere ornaments, they held real power. Unlike other cities, Sodom's women could own property, run businesses, and even initiate divorces. This unprecedented independence likely contributed to the city's reputation as a place of inverted morals. Number 11. Transparent clothing that shocked all visitors. Sodomite fashion was daring beyond imagination. Women wore fabrics so thin and translucent that their body shapes were visible beneath them. These fabrics were delicate as petals, yet strong enough to hold the weight of golden adornments. By day, these layers would sparkle in sunlight. By night, under the full moon, they appeared like liquid light. Foreign merchants paid fortunes for even small pieces of this fabric, which was never reproduced after the city's destruction. Number 10. Festivals lasting entire weeks without pause. It might sound exaggerated, but Sodom held celebrations that started at the new moon and lasted until the full moon. The city transformed into an open-air party hall filled with music, dancing, and feasts. Streets were decorated with ribbons and flowers, and the constant sound of harps, drums, and flutes filled the air. Hundreds of torches illuminated the night, and the smell of roasted meats, fresh bread, and rare spices permeated every corner. During these celebrations, all normal laws were suspended. Foreign visitors often fled in horror, overwhelmed by the city's temporary freedom. Number 9. Temples where women performed secret rituals. Imagine ordinary women becoming powerful priestesses when the moon reached its zenith. Sodom's temples, dedicated to Astarte, goddess of love and fertility, were spaces where women wielded extraordinary influence. High columns shaped like stylized trees, open roofs for moonlight to bathe the central altar, and polished metal mirrors reflecting torchlight amplified their power. Archaeological excavations confirm altars and female figurines in positions of authority. Could the real sin in the eyes of neighboring cities have been allowing women so much power? Number 8. Laws punishing those who helped foreigners with death. Unlike other ancient societies, Sodom criminalized charity. Travelers arriving at the city gates found hostility instead of hospitality. Anyone offering even a glass of water without charging would be publicly whipped or executed. The story of Pelatit, executed for giving bread to a starving beggar, illustrates a society where compassion was punished and cruelty celebrated. When a society penalizes kindness, how long before it loses its humanity entirely? Number 7. Banquets with food that could last years. Sodomites mastered preservation techniques using the Dead Sea's salt and advanced fermentation knowledge. Cedar tables were covered with smoked meats sealed in asphalt, fruits preserved in honey and salt, aromatic breads and aged wine. Archaeologists discovered these foods remained identifiable centuries later. With hunger never a threat, moderation vanished, fueling excess and decadence. Number 6. Treatment of travelers. Foreigners were not welcomed, they were hunted. Bells signaled the arrival of outsiders, triggering cruel games, where victims were tied in public squares, forced to dance barefoot over hot coals, and pelted with stones. These practices were not secret but celebrated, showing an entire culture normalizing cruelty as entertainment. Number 5. Judicial system where criminals judged the innocent. Judges were chosen for their skill in punishing innocence, not wisdom. One merchant, Eleazar, fed a beggar and was arrested. He was forced to choose between forfeiting all his goods or facing torture, only to discover the beggar was a judge's accomplice. The system favored the powerful, making justice a cruel parody. Number 4. Human sacrifices during crises. Evidence shows Sodom resorted to sacrificing youth, aged 12 to 16, during droughts or earthquakes. Temples had hidden chambers, altars carved with channels for blood, and rituals accompanied by hypnotic drumbeats. The city crossed all moral boundaries to maintain prosperity. Number 3. Scientific explanation for total destruction. Modern science confirms a catastrophic event matching the biblical account. Layers of ash, melted material, and extraterrestrial spheres indicate an aerial explosion, like a more powerful Tunguska event, incinerating everything instantly. The wife of Lot turning into salt now makes sense. Bodies were instantly crystallized by extreme heat in the Dead Sea region. Sodom's legacy is a universal symbol of moral decay and divine justice, warning how societies can fall when arrogance, wealth, and pleasure overshadow compassion and responsibility. In today's world, we can still see unsettling parallels. If this video captivated you, leave a super chat and help spread God's word. Click the next video to discover 15 shocking facts about life in the Old Testament. You won't believe how people really lived.